What's up, you guys? We are in Arizona. Obviously, we're in Arizona. This is the channel, right? We're in Buckeye today, and I'm going to be telling you some of the cons to living here in Buckeye and why a lot of people don't really like living here. One of them being it is massively huge and there is a ton of farmland, okay? Some of the biggest complaints that I get from people moving here is, Kim, it always smells like cow manure. And for me, I grew up in the West Valley, so I grew up literally right in front of a field like this, and me and my friends used to go out and we used to play in the canals and everything, and that's not really safe now that I know it. I'm an adult now. I should probably not have done that. But that's one biggest thing. That's one of the biggest cons that people have is the smell, and it's just massive farmland. And with farmland, it brings into our number 3 reason why it's so kind of rough living here is when it's not the season to grow, there's a ton of dust, a ton of dust. And I mean dust, like it's gonna create huge haboobs and you're gonna have clouds and walls of dust flying in over the city literally every monsoon season. So that is something to watch out for when you are living here in the city of Buckeye. Arizona used to be a huge farming community, especially the city of Buckeye. I mean, look at this. We still have tons of farmland today, and there are families here that have been here for generations, generational families that have farms and ranches out here in Buckeye, and cow ranches and horse ranches and cow ranches, cattle ranches. It's just something that is just inevitable. And if you don't like that, then the city of Buckeye is maybe something that you want to avoid when thinking about moving here to the state of Arizona. Speaking of some of the family generations that have lived here and called Buckeye, Arizona their home for generations and generations, it's a lot of them take a lot of pride in their land and their homes and the communities that they have built out here. I've heard horror stories from a lot of people, and granted, you guys, this is everywhere, so this isn't necessarily a con or a pro, but it's just something to be aware of. It's a lot of the families that have lived here for decades have a problem with a lot of new people coming in and tearing up their land and not respecting it. So if you guys aren't looking to move here and respect the community in which you live and the outskirts and land like this literally, you know, supplies a lot of food for the Arizona economy and other places in the US. So keep in mind, you guys, that this is something that we take a lot of pride in as Arizona residents. Don't mess with our local farmhands. Don't mess with their land. Don't mess with their crops. If you see a cornfield because you've never seen a cornfield before because you're moving from Los Angeles County, don't walk through it. Respect it, be mindful, and just have some pride in the community out here. That's just all I have to say, because I have heard a ton of horror stories, and honestly it's getting to the point where it's getting really, really sad. So number 3 is Buckeye has a lot of dust, and I almost just tripped. The reason why I'm saying this is because you guys are literally on the outskirts of the Phoenix city, of the Phoenix metropolitan area. So you have a lot of farmland out here. You have a lot of vacant desert, and you're in the valley. You're on the outskirts of the valley. And you guys, this is one thing to keep in mind. When you're living in Buckeye, if you're choosing to move to Buckeye, Buckeye is huge, okay? You could be closer to the city, or you can be about 30 more minutes away from the city. It depends on what area you're wanting and the type of lifestyle that you're wanting to live when you're moving out here to the city of Buckeye. I can tell you guys right now that a lot of families from California and Seattle and Portland are all choosing to move here to Buckeye because it is quieter. There's not as much city. There's way less traffic out here in the city of Buckeye. And on top of that, if you live in California or your family's over here on the West Coast, guess what? You can hop on that I-10 and go directly west and hit the state of California. You can hit Nevada, you can hit Oregon, all in a heartbeat. So you can get there really, really quickly, and that's one of the big pros to a lot of people moving here. Speaking of moving here, we're gonna talk about the Buckeye home prices, all right? Buckeye home prices are some of the lowest in the valley, and that's because Buckeye is on the outskirts of the valley, okay? By the valley, I mean the city of Phoenix. So actually, it's about 47 minutes from downtown Phoenix. So that's one reason why a lot of people have a hard time living out in Buckeye, because it is so far from the rest of the valley. It's such a far distance, and that's not including the traffic, you guys. So if you are going downtown, or if you're going to Scottsdale, or you work anywhere past the 303 and the I-10 right now, as of September 2022, you guys are going to be seeing a lot more traffic. Just the other day I was on the I-10 and I was showing properties to clients moving from California, and it took us almost an hour to get back to the city of Phoenix because they literally had the road down to one lane and it was literally bumper to bumper traffic. I've never seen it like that before, and they're working on extending it. So that's a good thing. That's a pro about this video. They are extending that I-10 freeway that leads right directly to California. Honestly, it's the biggest pain in my ass, but they're extending it. So right now we just have to be patient and push through it, and eventually it will be way easier to travel on. So I hope that helps give you guys a little bit of an idea of what the distance is. Now, some of you are going to probably come at me and say, Kim, not all of Buckeye is 45 minutes away from downtown Phoenix. Yeah, I know. Put it in the comments. I get it, all right? But if you're going to live in Tartesso, or you're going to be living in North Buckeye in Sun City Festival, or you're wanting to live on the outskirts in a field like where I'm literally sitting at right now, it's going to take you a little while. So keep that in mind, you guys. All right, now speaking of living in Buckeye and just all of the cons, one of the biggest cons that I have heard from a lot of people moving here is there isn't as much job opportunities out here in Buckeye as of yet. A lot of people are living in Buckeye and they go to work in Goodyear or Surprise or Waddell. Now that's one of the good things, right? So you do have a lot of surrounding areas and locations that have endless amounts of job opportunities, but right now Buckeye is kind of lacking on that. They will, however, have a lot of jobs coming soon, a lot of warehouses, and there's going to be a lot of commercial businesses coming out here to the city of Buckeye, especially closer to Verrado and the Tartesso areas very, very soon. So you will be seeing a lot more job opportunity and economic growth in the future, which is great because we really are going to need it out here, especially with there only being one freeway connecting to the central of the valley. To central of the valley? To the center. To the central, oh my goodness gracious. To the center of the valley, you guys. The center of the valley. So keep that in mind. If you guys are looking to move here and you're not sure what area is best for you, you can always give me a comment below. Comment moving and I will send you a link with my mover's guide, with my home buying guide to moving here to the state of Arizona, and I will comment right back with that link so that way you guys can have it. And you can always give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I am here to help serve and support you at the highest possible level. And keep in mind, you guys, I am an Arizona state licensed realtor here in the state of Arizona, and I'm helping people move here every single day from all over the US. So if Buckeye isn't the area where you want to live, or if you have more questions about Buckeye, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I am here to help serve and support you at the highest possible level. Stay tuned for my next video because we're going to go into the home prices and the housing market, and are we going into a crash or are we not?